understand the assignment. We are here to win banners.
Outside. This is the point where he always hits it. Oh! Aaron Harrison beyond belief.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday to you. January 23rd, 2026. This is Kentucky Roll Call on Big X Sports Radio. 96.1 on the FM side of things. 1450 AM on the AM side of things. TJ Walker, Stephen Peak, and producer Matt in the talent room. Hey, you're not talent, buddy. Get out of here.
I think I call myself talented.
This is the talent room. Get out. Get out. No, I think he's trying to fix the camera.
I could have done that, Matt.
No, yeah, Matt, is everything okay in all seriousness?
I mean, the stream is fine. That camera's just, like Steven's camera's just having, like, a stroke right now.
Oh, okay.
That's not good. We don't want the cameras or anybody to have a stroke for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome on into Kentucky Roll Call on Big X Sports Radio. Producer Matt, working hard, making sure everything is operating the best that he can. Stephen Peak has been on the road, just now getting in. What's up? How's your Friday been?
I got up early today and got myself to Lexington for the press conference with Malachi Marino and Denzel Aberdeen. You know, not a ton coming from that. We talked a little bit of weather, talked with Malachi about his game-winning shot again. We hadn't really had a chance to talk with him since then. And there you go, little echo.
Yeah, that
getting the YouTube stream set up.
I'm sending out the YouTube stream. I'm tweeting out the link for it.
Yeah.
So the audio started, but that just little 3 seconds I heard, that wasn't the best sounding audio I've ever heard in my life. But that's okay.
It's all right.
It just needs to shake off the rust.
So we got done with that at 10:30. I texted you. I said I'd probably make it for the studio. Here we are. I didn't think I'd make it here for the start of the show. But the 64 West was clear. Not used to that, man.
Yeah, no.
I'm used to sitting on 64 West. They've been doing some construction, and just coming back around 4 o'clock, it's so bad. So glad that I got to experience a free 64 West, because I don't think on the way home from the game tomorrow I'll be as lucky. Because I don't know, when's that snow supposed to hit? It keeps changing.
All right, we're going to talk snowstorms today, which, by the way, I know KSR, they were getting all the snow experts.
Yes.
That's a great radio idea.
A little bit.
And here's what the weather people need to do. The weather people need to go in March and go on and be like, all right, so I pulled some sports radio and sports writers brackets. We're going to go through them live on air.
Yes.
You should put the weather folk, just be ready to put the sports people on blast. But that was a good idea. I was thinking the same thing if we could raise $10,000, but unfortunately we came up just a bit short at about $4. But no, that's a genius idea. Get them on record, see who's most accurate. Is there going to be like a finalized list anywhere where
I think so.
And if you have no idea what we're talking about, KSR, they did a bit where they just had, I think, like 10 weather people call in and give predictions, and I think whoever wins gets $10,000 to charity or to themselves, or I don't know how. I don't know where the money's going. I don't know all the details. I have no idea what a weather person has even predicted from that contest. But I have done my own research, just like during the pandemic. I've done my own research, and I actually feel like I've got a pretty good grip on this bad thing.
All right. Oh, can we put your predictions down in the KSR prediction weather? TJ, the weather guy, what do you got?
Yeah, all right.
The weather talker.
So here's what I think's going to happen. Just kind of piecing together different weather reports that I've heard or read, and trust some. In all seriousness, don't trust me. We're putting the note, the warning, and this is not an official weather prediction. I'm not a weather guy. I'm not the weather talker, after all. I think it's going to start snowing around like 9 or 10 tomorrow morning. And it's just going to be kind of, maybe before then, but like, I don't think the heavy stuff's going to start coming down until about like 10 or 11-ish in Louisville. I don't think you're really going to start seeing it start to pile up, or the roads start to get well, the roads are going to be pretty cold, so you're probably going to get snow on the roads sooner rather than later. So it probably will get on the roads, but not anything that is unpassable until, I don't know when what time's going to be, because I don't know how many people are going to be out on the roads on Saturday. Probably not too many, because people are going to be scared of this storm.
Right.
So as I'm talking this through actually out loud, all right, so I'm thinking around like 3 or 4, you could start making a case that like, oh yeah, roads aren't great. But it's going to start snowing around like 10. Heavy snow around 11. You're going to start to see it on the grass and maybe the roads by early to mid-afternoon. And then it's just going to snow all the way into Saturday night, into Sunday morning, and it'll probably be stopping by the time you wake up on Sunday. So that's my guess on when it gets going. And I think people going to the UK game, I think you'll be okay going and coming back. Now, if you're Stephen Peak and you have to work a couple hours afterwards, that could be a different story.
We're talking about maybe just as soon as the game is over, do a rapid reaction, talk to Mark Pope and the players. I think they said they're going to try to hurry up and get people out of there as fast as possible, and I think they're going to make us leave so that we don't even have the option of hanging out there.
That's a good idea.
So I think that's going to be the plan. So do you think if that is the plan,
UK probably didn't need too much convincing to get the media out of there quicker than normal. But then speeding everybody up, wow, that's insane. Good for UK for doing that. So assuming the game ends around 1, and you're getting out of there around 2, yeah, I think you'll be okay, but I think by the time you're getting home, you're probably like, I wouldn't advise people going out into it.
So you think I'll be okay?
I think you'll be okay.
Okay.
I think you'll be okay.
I like the confidence.
I think you'll be all right. If it was a couple hours later, though, I think this is going to be pretty bad, everybody. I don't think this is hype. If you're a Louisvillian, and I'm sure even if you're a Kentuckian, or even if you're a Southern Indiana Hoosier, God love you, you've heard storms be overblown before. This will not be one of them. This is the real deal Holyfield, as they say in the weather business.
They do say that.
They often, as a matter of fact. I am excited because I don't really have anything. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't have anything to do. I don't have anywhere to go. I'm doing the post-game show, but I think we're doing that remotely. And even if we weren't, I think I'll be okay being able to get to downtown and get back home in time. But I think we're doing it remotely anyways. So I don't have any. They've already canceled basketball on Sunday. I don't got nothing going on. I'm gonna be now. I will be in a house stuck with a 4 and a 1-year-old, very, very vocal 4 and 1-year-olds, which I'm blessed to hear them be so vocal. But talk to me on Tuesday and see where I'm at. But I'm excited for who doesn't love a good snowfall? Who doesn't love just seeing the snow come down, nowhere to be? You're different. You have to work. You have to go do stuff.
Well, let me ask you this. Well, how come I'm on weather.com and AccuWeather.com?
Oh, boy.
AccuWeather.com has snow starting at 7 a.m., 55% chance, and then, of course, going all through the night. But then the Weather Channel, weather.com, they have the light snow in Louisville starting at 1 p.m. And it's a light snow, and then at 2 it starts to snow.
Man, they've pushed it back that far now.
Yeah, but AccuWeather has it moved all the way up. They moved it up since the last time I looked at it.
I would trust weatherchannel.com over that.
Over AccuWeather?
Yeah, I think it's I think we'll see snowflakes before 1 o'clock certainly, but I do think all this is pushing back a little bit later. So even more so, you'll be okay, Stephen Peak.
Okay.
So, all right. I think that maybe it'll start snowing around 11 then potentially, where you just start to see some flakes. And yeah, I think people go into the game will be okay. Just one person's dumb opinion. And then I actually think Rupp Arena is going to be an interesting atmosphere tomorrow, Peak. Mm-hmm. Because the people that are there are going to be people that want to be there.
Yeah, really.
And a lot of times when you have people that really want to be at a basketball game, it makes for some fun environments. It makes for surprisingly fun crowds. Now, if UK goes out there and lays an egg, if the team's not into it, if that 11 a.m. start. See, we always like it when Kentucky is on the road playing at 11 a.m. So Ole Miss is probably somewhat tickled, we're not going to get the rowdy Rupp Arena atmosphere. Be careful what you wish for. I do think it'll end up being a fun atmosphere for the people that are there at the game. It will not be the most crowded. You'll probably have a little bit more room to spread out. Don't hold me to that, but I think it's going to be a fun one. And it's going to be tomorrow. Storm, forget about the game. Let's hope UK blows them out. Let's hope the game itself is a historic performance. Something insanely fun happens. 55 points from Ortega Oweh. Tops the 54 by Jody Meeks. Tomorrow's going to be a historic day for the state. Hopefully not a tragically historic day, although sadly the cold that's coming behind this storm is going to be pretty gnarly. But this storm is, every part of the state's getting hit. And some parts are going to get ice and sleet, and you don't want to be that part that gets ice and sleet. Some could get a foot of snow. My official prediction in Louisville is 8 inches. I think Louisville gets 8 inches. And that's insane. Even just throwing around 8 inches is nuts. If you get 2 or 3, you're not anticipating any school. 8's insane for this area. Yeah. And that could be, I could be way off. It could be 12.
I mean, like, I'm looking at WHS 11. They got 10 to 14 right now.
10 to 14.
Yeah, the day before.
Yeah.
Usually that number starts to go down as you get closer to the actual
Normally
event.
it does. You're right.
The fact that it's either going up or maintaining the 10 to 14. I kind of thought, TJ, in looking at some of this stuff, I thought maybe, to your point about people who really want to be at the game tomorrow showing up, I thought the ticket price would have dropped substantially. It has not.
Really?
Ticketmaster, $150.
What?
For any lower level seat. Well, there's one here for.
Okay, I thought you were going to say to get in. I was going to.
No, the get-in price is like $28.
Yeah, okay.
But that's still higher than I thought it would be, because you and I know this is going to be a 15,000.
No, I'm seeing some on Vivid Seats for lower level, like 60.
Okay.
$60.
Okay. Well, Vivid Seats might be the way to go. You can use. No, we don't have Vivid Seats anymore. What's the one we got? SeatGeek over there at KSR. So yeah, I was kind of shocked by that, honestly. I thought that some of these would drop pretty low. Maybe you have to wait till the day of.
So with it being a historic day, go to the game. I was talking to my brother-in-law. He's got season tickets, and I was saying, like, he's like, I don't know if I want to go. I don't know if I should go. I was like, I think you'll be okay getting there and getting back. I think it was a smart move by them to move the game up an hour. I really do. I wouldn't tell you otherwise. I think you'll be okay getting to and from. And I think it's just going to be a day that people in this state are going to remember. So have some fun. Go get you some Rupp Arena ice cream, and then get home and cuddle up with a good book and watch the snow. But I can't believe you're not a big... well, Producer Matt, how do you feel about snow? Where do you stand on snow?
I hate it.
Okay.
As a kid, I used to love it. You know, it was always fun to jump around the snow. But as I've gotten an adult, it's just only an inconvenience. It's just only a nuisance. I can't stand the cold. This is my least favorite time of the year. It's not even close.
You don't love a good big snow though?
Nope.
Like a shut down the city sort of snow?
Not at all.
Oh man. Scrooge McGrinch over there.
I'm the same way as Matt. When I was younger, I would love it, of course, because we may not have to go to school. But now, as an adult, it's never really the case that people say, yeah, you don't have to come to work today. It's like, now I got to go to work in the snow. So I don't think I've ever had a job where I got a snow day. Especially now. I mean, I guess working from home would be nice, but yeah, I mean, now it's just like, all your responsibilities still need to happen, and now you have to deal with snow. So it's just an extra.
You've never had a work trip canceled because of weather?
I did last year. We didn't go to Georgia for the Kentucky-Georgia game, which I'm doubly happy about, because that was one of the worst games we played all season. I almost forget that game happened because it was one of the games that we didn't go to. I think the only SEC game that we didn't go to. So yeah, okay. There's one time we didn't have to deal with it, but it's just like all the other stuff you got to worry about, getting groceries and everything. It was all taken care of when you were a kid. My wife's been all over it though. She's got us like totally prepped and ready for the worst. She's prepared for 2009 level stuff, like a true snowmageddon.
I think it's going to be closer to 2009 than I think we've had a couple big ones between 2009 and now. But I think it's going to be in the same conversation as 93 and 2009. Let's just hope Louisville doesn't get the ice.
Yeah, that was the thing that did it in 2009, right? It was the ice that was on the tree branches and on the power lines.
Yeah, and you hate to say, like, well, I hope Louisville doesn't get it. because somebody's going to get the ice. Somebody's getting,
Yeah.
somebody's getting the ice. I just don't want it to be me or my community.
Yeah.
But somebody, there's just no way to do it without laughing. But that's going to be serious. Whoever does get it, that's going to be bad. I don't want it to be, because that's like where the power goes out.
Yeah.
The ice. It can go out with snow, and when you're talking about that much snow, it definitely can go out. But the ice, it doesn't take much. And every weather blog and video that you watch or that you see, the amount of moisture in this storm, it is unheard of. It's unbelievable. And it really kind of is. I mean, this thing is going to, I think they're saying when it's all said and done, it's going to touch basically 40 states in some capacity or another. And it's going even all the way from like Texas, moving up, and it just depends on what the temperature is. But it is putting down some moisture, and then it's going to, after it comes through us on Saturday and through Sunday, it's going up to the Northeast, where they're worried it can be worse up there than it is for the Ohio Valley and the Tennessee Valley region. But it's going to, some flooding, some bad flooding to the south, ice somewhere, a lot of snow, a lot of places. Just kind of depends exactly where the weather breaks, and that's what all these weather geeks and nerds, they can study these models, and there's so many different models, and they can have the ones that they like and trust, but you never really know. Just the slightest degree change, wind change, this whole storm can get moved a little bit. But right now, Louisville, the storm does seem to be moving up north, so where areas were expected to get ice and snow in like southern Kentucky, now maybe that's looking like rain, and then the ice is kind of moving up. I think the latest that I'd seen, although Peak's got more accurate, up-to-date info than I saw, looked like maybe like E-Town was not in the best spot. It wouldn't be the most crazy, shocking thing in the world if the ice just moved up ever so slightly where Jefferson County was impacted. But where it stands right now, where it looks like, is that that it's just, we're going to be in the heaviest of the snow parts, Louisville or Lexington, or potentially both. So buckle in. Make sure you're ready to go. I do want to give a shout out if you are somebody who has been thinking about a generator, getting a generator, Allen Electrical. They're the spot to go for generators. Maybe you have one, but you just want to make sure it's ready to go just in case anything happens. I'd go ahead and just give them a call right now at Allen Electrical Services, 502-636-4357. But I had somebody reach out and say, TJ, do you have a generator? And I said, I wish, buddy. I wish I had a generator. But if I did, and whenever I do, maybe someday, Allen Electrical will be the place, because I do know several folks that have them installed in the last 5 years, and Allen Electrical has been their one-stop shop. So check them out. That's who I would recommend. And then I also want to give a heads up or a shout out, if you will. But the Lord's Kitchen they are taking blankets right now. So if you have any unused blankets, they would ask that you drop them off at 1811 Standard Ave, Louisville, Kentucky, 40210. The facility is providing a safe, warm space also for those needing rest and even hot meals as a part of their ongoing feeding program. You don't need to register or no documents required. You just show up and you'll get assistance, or you can go there, drop off your blankets. They will take anything you got to help those in need. And if you are one in need, the Lord's Kitchen, they've got a warm spot for you and a hot meal, which God bless them for all that. But it's going to be pretty gnarly, Stephen Peak. This is the big one.
Yeah, nervous about it. Texting some of the guys in our group that are making the drive to the game tomorrow, seeing how we want to handle this. So, yeah, not looking forward to it, but I am looking forward to Kentucky playing a basketball game. Whether I have a feeling I'll be in the arena. If not, I get to watch it on TV. Second game this year, get to do that. That's always fun. And Travis Perry makes his
Perry, the prodigal son, returns. No, not really.
No, not really.
But he's back. That's a big storyline. I hate this game. Just hate this game all around. Yeah. Because it's quad 3, I think, if Kentucky lost.
Well, yeah, that's why I feel confident that they could win.
Well, no, Ole Miss isn't great, and you're like, I get what you're saying from that regard, but Kentucky's super banged up. It's an 11 o'clock start. Ole Miss, they're not going to make the tournament, even if they got this win. However, and that's just a game you can't afford. But they beat Missouri, and Kentucky lost that game. They won at Georgia, so they've shown that they can win on the road. And then they beat Mississippi State by 1 point, so they can win close games. That one was on the road as well. And then I think what's also interesting about Ole Miss is that Georgia game, combined points were like 193 or something like that, or whatever. It was nearly 200 combined points. And then Mississippi State, that game was in the 60s. So they can play different styles. They can play different tempos. They can adapt. They did lose to St. John's, so we can't. If you want to play the comparative scoreboard game with Missouri, you got to be fair. They did lose to St. John's, but they're a solid team, and they'll be desperate. And I just hope Kentucky. I think the fans will be all right. I hope Kentucky players are ready for an 11 a.m. snow day, weird start.
The last time they played an 11 a.m. game at Rupp Arena, it was the greatest game I've ever seen played in that building in person.
It was awesome.
106-100 to Florida. If you need something, well, if the electricity's out, I guess there's nothing you can do. But if you're stuck at home on Sunday, nowhere to go, I highly recommend throwing that game on and giving it a rewatch. Easily the best game I've ever seen. I've rewatched that game maybe a handful of times, like five or six times since it happened over a year ago. So yeah, but you're right. We talked to Malachi Marino about that. He gave the athlete answer that you would expect. I don't care what time the game is. If it's at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., I'll be ready to go. And it is true, TJ. A lot of these guys who played AAU basketball as recently as last season used to those 9 a.m. starts. You played AAU ball, right? A little bit?
Back in like 7th grade.
Okay, yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah, you had those 9 a.m. tip-offs.
It may have just been AA ball back then.
They were giving us these things to snip to like wake us up because we were all coming in sleepy.
When you were a kid?
8 a.m. Yeah, it was like
You were doing sniff install?
Yeah,
That was life. You just woke up. You were just ready to go.
had to get the extra energy to be ready to go at 9 a.m. I've never been one that likes waking up early, TJ. I don't know if that's been mentioned before, but I'm not an early riser. I can stay up late with the best of them. But the 9 a.m. tip-offs, I was like, I'm not even like awake. Is this a dream? What's going on? Why are we tipping off right now? But no, so yeah, you're right. I think they're going to have to adjust a little bit to the early start and earlier shoot-arounds. I wonder who has the flu now that'll have to miss shoot-around. Is shoot-around overrated, though, TJ? Because you've had 2 Kentucky players now miss shoot-arounds and have their best games of the season.
Well, it wasn't like the knock that like sometimes Calipari's teams wouldn't do shoot-arounds and people would freak out about that?
Yeah, but we freaked out whenever Cal did anything that was outside of the norm, especially when he started losing. So when he was winning, he was like, what a genius. He skipped shoot-around and they won.
So what we're doing right now, if Colin Chandler has a good game not doing shoot-around, shoot-around's overrated.
Exactly.
Colin Chandler has a bad game not doing shoot-around.
Be it shoot-around. I don't care how sick you are.
He's a win.
Be there. Yeah.
To the stake he goes. So, I hear you. It works for Colin. Did anybody ask any of the players today? Like,
Yes.
How is the team healthy? Is everybody feeling good?
Yeah.
Where are we? I mean, besides 9 people being hurt.
Well, yeah, and they did talk about. We talked with them a little bit about that and about like, you have 2 guys who've had the flu in your locker room. It's weird. You talked about it yesterday, TJ, and it is kind of strange to me. Like, COVID kind of made a lot of us aware of how viral infections work, and there's Colin and Ortega, both with the flu. They can't be at shoot-around. Colin said he needed to sleep in. He had cold chills the day of the game, and he's playing defense, and guys are having to guard him from the other team.
That's
So I wonder, like, this will have to spread throughout the SEC, I guess. So they said everyone else is fine right now.
Colin Chandler, patient 1.
Yeah,
Hey, you know what? He didn't have a sick bag. That was Heidi.
that's true. So, yeah, no one's sick as of right now.
Okay.
So that's good. And again, trying to adjust to another injury. Spent all day talking about it. I'll try not to talk about it as much today. But of course, Cam Williams is a factor for tomorrow. Probably one of Kentucky's better defenders as of late, and so that's going to suck. But we did talk about Trent Noah and how he's ready to step in and hit threes.
On that point, I actually think Cam Williams' defensive IQ and discipline. It's not bad. I don't think it's the best on the team, or maybe even top 3 on the team. But his length just can make up
7 foot
so
wingspan.
many of his mistakes that he may make on defense. It's like a cheat code a bit. So I'm not trying to say that he's a bad defender. He is a good defender. But then you throw in that length, and it really does. He was helping him. Denzel Aberdeen, Otega Owe doesn't have the same arm length as those type of guys, but he is more of just kind of a natural, good on-the-ball defender. UK's defense was pretty solid when Cam Williams was out there. And then, of course, his better contributions to the team was the ability to knock down a 24-footer. So that's a huge loss. If you were ranking the players that UK could afford to lose, he would not have been number 1.
Who would be the one? Who'd be number 1, TJ? Who would you trade him with? Who's the guy you're like, I don't even mind if he goes down?
Well, no.
He has to play a little bit.
No, I was saying like number 1 most important. Like Kentucky can't survive this guy going down.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
I'm saying he's not number 1 there, but he's probably top 3, definitely top 5.
Yeah.
Just want to jump in for 1 second. For anybody that is watching on the stream, I think I fixed it.
Oh, cool.
I think I fixed all the audio issues. It seemed like your mic's levels were just hitting like crazy high. So if there's anybody watching, please send it in the chat and let me know if it sounds okay on your end. If not, I'll keep working on it. But I just want to let everybody know that to just let me know if it sounds better.
And I know we're up
He just
against.
wants to let you know to let him know.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. I know we're up against a break, but our guy Mario Maitland from KSR did just post the KSR weather challenge and the projected snowfall. If you want me to run through those maybe after the break.
Yeah, that's a good. Okay, let's do that. I'm excited to see. I'm not going to look out. I'm going to react live on air, and then mine's going to be 8. I'm doing 8 inches. 8 inches for me, and it sounds like that's going to be low. It's just based on.
I think that's way too much.
That's
Okay. Well, yeah, that's what I'm going with because we're getting 8 inches and 4 inches of ice. 4 inches of ice would just devastate any town.
I mean, you're just shooting for a crazy high number.
We're not hitting
whole inches.
No, we're not doing 4 inches of ice. That would be devastating. But I do. I'm saying we get 8 inches of snow. That's going to be my final prediction. All right, we'll come back. We'll let you know what the weather folks are saying. We'll read your text into the Game Day Men's Health text line, which is 502-414-1450. It's Snowstorm 2026. Kentucky Roll Call back after this.
weather wishing well has got you feeling a particular way. You can't stand to see your own reflection. So toss a penny and close your eyes.
Billy Shrinks Friday. Welcome back, Kentucky Roll Call, Big X Sports Radio, 96.1 FM, 1450 AM. Stephen Peak, TJ Walker, producer Matt Childress. Hope you're having a great Friday. If you haven't had lunch yet, Salsaritas, or if you have, this is going to be my strategy for the snowstorm, either tonight or tomorrow. And I haven't ruled out potentially both. We usually do Pizza Movie Friday with the girls just because.
Oh, I love that.
We don't love to just throw on shows or movies.
Love that.
Granted, every day
That's a
they
good dad thing.
do watch shows in some capacity, but we don't just like it to be like a nightly or daily thing where it's just like, all right.
So almost every Friday you all do that?
Almost every Friday, though.
Dude,
is
that's
like,
awesome.
Well, again, it's kind of that's like our little white flag as parents, where it's like, there's your movie. We'll watch two.
That's cool.
We'll hang
You
out
have it-
too, but like, there's your babysitter for Fridays. But yes, we'll get pizza, all be together. It's fun.
That's cool. That's a really cool dad thing.
It's the 4-year-old loves it. The 1-year-old doesn't know the difference so much. But no, we have a good time with it. But I'm going to order just a mess of pizza. Like I will have leftovers for sure, just in case this gets a little too bad.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that I went to the grocery store on Wednesday because I saw a video of the Hubbard
Yes,
Kroger.
I saw that.
So this is a St. Matthews, or excuse me, this is a Salsaritas ad read after all. So that's Salsaritas in St. Matthews. It's right next to that Kroger at Hubbard's. If that's your Kroger and you go there and you're just like, holy snot, we're out of bread and eggs and milk, because they seemingly are. I don't know that at the moment. But that video that I saw was not good. Head on over to Salsaritas. They'll have plenty of food for you. But, yes, that's going to be my strategy, is to just get a bunch of food. I may even do it with like an early lunch tomorrow, because I don't think the roads are going to be really bad until later in the afternoon. I think morning's going to be totally fine. Early afternoon, I think, is mostly going to be fine. Don't hold me to that. But later in the afternoon, I think it's going to get pretty bad. So going to order a bunch. You can do that at Salsaritas. You can get your own snow party catered. Why not? You can do it at the touch of your fingertips. Have your own catering party. They make it easy. They have 3 locations. That St. Matthews one, it's got that covered patio if you want to watch the snowstorm. This Middletown has a drive-through. That could be nice for this bad weather. And then out I-65 in Shepherdsville in Bullitt County. Check out Salsaritas today. All right, we had one texter on the Game Day Men's Health text line say, oh, good, I haven't heard enough about the KSR Weather Challenge yet. I love it. I apologize. I don't think we've ever really taken a bit that they've done and maybe even talked about it. We probably have at some point. But this one, I'm just genuinely curious about it. And I don't listen to the show, so I didn't get to hear the totals as they were coming in or anything like that. But I've seen the tweets, but I hadn't seen a tweet with the actual updates. But Stephen Peak says that has changed. And if nothing else, here's just what 10 weather people that have their reputation on the line think.
It's all on the line, baby.
It is. You better not show your face on Sunday or Monday if you are within 4 to 5 inches, which again is a pretty solid amount. That's a pretty decent amount of inches.
It is.
Like that's a good amount of
I
inches.
think that's way too much. I don't know who can handle that much.
All right, Peak. What were the totals?
All right, Jim Cantori is up first.
Oh, that's the big wig.
And he's postponed till 5 p.m. and he's ineligible for the charity prize. So he didn't have his in yet. All right, next one, Jim Caldwell.
Wait, so he doesn't have anything?
He doesn't have anything
Okay,
yet.
well then we didn't need to mention him.
Well, I thought I mentioned how he hasn't. But okay, Jim Caldwell. He's retired, but he's done it for a long time.
So he just does it for the love of the game.
For the love of the game.
He's a hobbyist weather guy.
Yes, I'm sure Ben Pine's the same way. Former WHS 11 guy. Anyway, he's got for Lexington 15.2 and Louisville 11.4.
All right, let's just do Louisville.
All right, we'll do this.
Just because a lot of numbers, it's going to kind of get confusing.
You're right.
All right,
Chris Bailey has 13.9. Kevin Harned, Wave, 12.6.
Goodness gracious.
What does Jay say?
What does Jay say?
Jay Cardosi, LKY, 14.3.
Wow.
Mallory Schnell, WHAS. She's new. I did not work with her, but 13.9. Reed Yaden, Captain Reed Yaden.
It's gonna be a winter of Schnell. That's her weather segment.
That should be. Captain Reed Yaden, I actually did work with him at WHAS. He's got 14.4.
Is he an actual captain?
Yeah, he's a pilot and everything.
Okay, gotcha.
Bill Meck.
Just the Post had it in quotation.
It did, yeah.
I didn't
yeah.
know, so it's a little condescending.
Bill Meck from Lexington 18, 14 inches. T.G. Shuck, he says WTVQ. He was at HAS. He was a local Louisville guy for a little bit. 11.1. That's the lowest.
Shuck, yeah.
Yeah, and then Justin Logan from Fox 56, 12.3. And then Ryan Hall, he's a YouTuber and does some good weather broadcasts on his YouTube channel. He's got 13.7. So the high is Reed Yaden, 14.4, and the low, T.G. Shuck, 11.1.
So the captain could just win this if it gets over 14.4.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He may just win it. So the few two people think it isn't more than a foot of snow. Only two people
only
have
two.
less than a foot.
These
Fewer
are
than
the
a foot
experts.
of snow.
These are the experts, too.
These are the experts, folks. That's what we're talking about. Starting tomorrow. A little bit later than I think was initially said, but now I guess everybody's kind of coming around to it starting a little bit later. So my hot take is faded anyways. That is crazy to me.
One
All
of the
right, so
things
my 8-inch prediction not looking too hot.
That I've always I never did ask anyone in weather when I worked at the TV station, but I should have. And now, if anybody knows the answer, text it in. Do you think that they whatever they think the highest could be, that's what they report? Because they would rather be wrong that way than say, well, probably only going to be 5 or 6 inches. Then people don't prepare for that, and then it's 12, and they go, what the hell? Why we thought it would be. I will say, like, the Metro government has done, at least recently, for some of these storms, has done a pretty good job of getting all the main arteries, all the main roads cleared.
Yes.
And LG&E's done a great job of making sure that electricity is coming back on if it goes out. Because I just remember 2009 just being a disaster. I don't even know how many days we were out of electricity, but it was multiple days. It was the longest I think I'd ever gone without electricity.
It was weird. My side of the street, we maybe lost power for an hour during that that storm. And then one of my good friends, the neighbor across the street, I think they didn't have power for about 5 or 6 days.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, people were running extension cords just across streets and stuff like that.
That's crazy.
But it was just wild to me that you could be on one transformer on one whole side of the neighborhood and the other one on another. It was really like a North Korea, South Korea situation. You see the satellite
Yes,
pictures?
I have. Yeah, that is wild. That's crazy. So did they help pay energy bills at the end of the month? Like the people who had to plug in to the neighbors?
Yeah, they did.
That was nice of them.
We charged them. Well, no, we billed them.
Did you really?
Yeah, just invoiced them.
That's great. I love that.
We think they used about $72.56 of energy, so go ahead and pay up, or else we'll send the goons out to you. Text line 502-414-1450. That is crazy to me that those experts are all thinking at least a foot of snow. That's wild. That is wild stuff.
I did get some responses on the YouTube. They said that the sound is fixed.
Okay.
I just want to go out and say that nobody on the world could have fixed it the way I just fixed it. So I'm going to tell y'all what I did. But nobody on this planet or anywhere near this room could have fixed it. I want to tell everybody that. They also can't see peak. That's another problem because the camera died. The camera is actually dead.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, I'm looking at it now. I was wondering where
Yeah,
it
he's
went.
been frozen typing on his computer for about 30 minutes. I've been trying to figure that out, too. I even downloaded a whole software, like the camera, like the same company that owns the camera, their software to edit the footage of it, and it doesn't even detect the camera at all. So that thing is probably cooked.
Hey, how'd the Louisville Kings show go last night?
Great. It was fun. I thought we got a lot of good feedback from it. We had a lot of decent listeners in there. I think it's up to it was over 300 on the podcast when I looked at it today.
Well, it's not about the numbers, though, right?
It's not, but I mean, I like the people who are listening to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is about people listening to it.
Sure, and decent people, you said. You don't want indecent.
Oh, well, of course not.
No. That's great. That is awesome. I have not yet gotten around to it. I will. I was actually hoping to be able to listen to it live, and then that didn't happen, unfortunately. Daughter had dance class last night. Always a great time. But I can't wait to check it out, and I think it's great. And I'm actually excited. The season opener is March 27th, which it's like the most Louisville thing in the world to me, that their season opener is the same night that the Bats season opener
Is it really?
Just like, one of you two couldn't move one night potentially? Like, Bats, could you not start on Thursday and have your season opener on Thursday? Louisville Kings, could you not start on Thursday, or could you not just do your season opener on a normal Saturday potentially? And it's also the night of the Sweet 16, which we'll see if these parts have to worry about any local teams playing in the Sweet 16, but that is a Sweet 16 night. But Louisville's going to be popping on March 27th, and they are taking on the Birmingham Stallions.
Oh, man, they got a good team this year, don't they?
2024 winner.
Were they really?
Yeah, they won the league in the
Wow, they're
2024.
they're taking on the defending champs in week 1?
Yeah.
There was no league in 2025.
Yes, there was.
Then who was
He
the
said 24.
Defenders.
Who was the 2025?
The DC Defenders.
So these were the 2024.
Oh, my bad.
That's what I said,
What
yeah.
year are we in? Sorry, forgot.
We're in 2026.
Yeah,
That's right. So I skipped the whole year.
Peake had said that they were the defending champs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't hear
I
him say
messed
that.
up.
I thought you were saying that. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's
How many
what I
years
said.
has this
Although
been-
if they had taken a year off, that would not have been a shocker to me. I would have been like, oh, yeah, I could see that. But I guess they did not take a year off. What were you saying, Peake?
how long has this league been going?
It's a good question.
Depends. So it's been a thing twice. This new session, it's gone for the past 3 years, starting in 2024. But
Okay.
it originated in 2009 to 2012. And
All right.
It was the XFL and USFL is what merged this time. Back then, it was just like a feeder league for the NFL. So it was basically like the AAA version of NFL football. Now it's supposed to be like a genuine competitive, kind of like the USL to the MLS.
Now, the USFL, that was founded back in the 1980s, I think, right?
I believe so.
That was there's a great book about that called Football for a Buck by Jeff Pearlman.
No.
A really great read. So they were charging $1 to get in back in 1982, 83, and then they had 18 teams in it, and they ceased to exist in 1986. Donald Trump, I think, owned a team.
The Louisville Kings are not charging $1 to get in.
How much are they charging?
Season tickets, the
season tickets
lowest
are
were
60.
120. Well, 60 just the standing section.
I don't know. That's just the ones that I know they plugged everybody. So you can get season tickets for $60.
I think 60 was like the supporter standing section. I think if you actually wanted to have a chair, the cheapest was 120, which it was crazy to me. And listen, the Louisville Kings don't need their financial advice from me. I promise you that. It was crazy to me that you'd have one section that was 120, and the next section over, I think, was 180. And anybody who's been to Lynn Family Stadium, I'm sorry, like I'm not paying an additional $60 for. And I get it, you'd break it down per ticket, so it'd really probably be
$36.
like an extra whatever. Like I'm not paying that much for one section over. There's not going to be any bad seats in Lynn Family Stadium.
Right, no, you're right.
For a football game, they're all going to be solid views, solid seats. Now, if you wanted to be exactly at the 50-yard line, I get it. Those are going to cost a little bit more, but their pricing was a bit head-scratching to me. I did not buy season tickets. Just wanted to see how much they were. But
There's
I
only
thought
5
about
home games.
I thought about it just because, and like I won't go to all the games, but I'd like to go to 2. Like,
I'll at least go to 2.
if I got to go to 2, and I was curious. I have one friend group that's like, hell yeah, Louisville Kings. Lynn Bowden's going to be there. Benny Snell.
They better put him at quarterback, though.
I can't. Oh yeah, you got to run on the little Wildcat, just the tip of the cap.
Oh, with Lynn and Benny? Oh,
Got to.
man.
It's a lot of fun. But I've got like one friend group who we were joking initially about doing like a big tailgate for it, but now it's actually maybe like turned into a real thing. We may actually like do a big tailgate for the first game or maybe
Love
the
that.
second game. I don't know if I'm crazy about the Friday night games for what it's worth, but I digress. And then there's another friend group who they're a little bit more hard to please. Like they didn't really buy into Louisville City, Racing Louisville. They didn't even bat an eye at, which is they're entitled to having those opinions. I was curious how they would feel about it. And there was one guy who was he responded first, and he was like, "No chance, I'd go to that." But then I was surprised. Everybody kind of followed up like, "Yeah, I'd probably go to a game. I wouldn't mind going to a game." I don't think it's going to be a hard ticket to get, Peak, but I also don't think it's going to be just like they're giving away tickets to get people in. I think this will be popular.
There's only 5 home games.
5 home games. It is professional football. Granted, not the top end professional
How many
football.
Louisville players are on the team? Do you know?
I think Louisville's got 2.
Yeah, I think Louisville and Kentucky both have 2.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
think
there's
4
some guys
combined.
that people know. That helps.
It's Lynn Bowden, Benny Snell, Des Patrick, and Willie Tyler.
Okay. Okay. Again, I don't think any are like superstars necessarily, but superstar future professional players. They probably are what they are, but they're decent. It'll be fun. And what else do you have going on besides that Friday night with the Bats and the Sweet 16 going on?
Yeah, well, I was going to say the Sweet 16. If Louisville or Kentucky got a team, where would they be at? They could be. That would be the Friday night game, right?
Well, if Kentucky or U of L are in the Sweet 16,
Chicago or Washington, D.C.
I don't think we're getting any geographical preferences.
Oh, you're right. Just get there.
Yeah, I think they'll just be seated wherever they get seated. But Chicago.
Houston, Texas, San Jose, California, Chicago, Illinois, Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Man,
I always
none of
look
those
at
are
it from
gonna
like
be-
a vacation standpoint.
Yeah.
Because that's Houston. All the other ones would be pretty cool.
Yeah. I hopefully it's Chicago. The other ones just seem like they're going to be long.
I'll just
long
take
trips.
the Sweet 16.
No, yeah.
You get there, and I'll gladly take it. A texter on the Game Day Men's Health text line says, when I said I wanted more ice in Kentucky, this is not what I meant.
Jeez. Okay.
My storm book is going to be Vineland by Thomas
Pynchon?
Pynchon. Who's Thomas Pynchon?
He wrote Rainbow, finalist for the Pulitzer Prize. I tried to read every Pulitzer Prize book, so every time the Pulitzer comes out, I try to buy the fiction book. I went all the way back to like 19. Who cares? Whenever it started, but that's a tough read. Thomas Pynchon's really tough to read. Gravity's Rainbow was really hard.
What's a tough read mean? Like the words are hard to read?
Yeah, it's just the words are hard to read.
Like big
very
words,
technical.
big words.
A lot of big words.
Read big words.
Is
A lot of
to
like,
Dr. Seuss's
like no
work?
paragraph breaks for like multiple pages. So it's just like this big block of text. It's really intimidating. I remember Gravity's Rainbow being a really hard book, so I didn't pick out any more Thomas Pynchon books. But if Texter, if you say that's a good read, I'll trust you, and I might pick it up as well. Maybe we can read together.
Okay. Peak needs to find somewhere in Lex he can stay, at least as a fallback. 64 is going to be a wasteland. No chance I'd drive back. I disagree. I think Peak will be all right getting back.
Well, we're in our group chat talking about it right now. I think some of the guys are considering, some of the ones that live in Louisville. Well, Jacob lives in Louisville, and then Jack lives in Shelbyville. We're discussing whether we want to take the risk or not. I think it makes for a cool video.
Jacob has a girlfriend in Lexington.
He does. That's true.
You all can just stay there. You all can crash at her place.
It's actually it's kind of surprising he didn't bring that up.
Interesting.
But I have slept in KS office before.
What?
Several times.
You
Did
did?
they have you give you a KS bed?
There's a KS couch, and there's a KS heater up there.
You don't want to sleep on that KS couch.
There's
How many castings have gone on over there?
the KS casting stopped years ago.
If Peak, if that's how you got your job, I respect you, man.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, man.
They did. There's the KS TV.
Yeah.
That was actually a real thing.
It was a real
KS
thing.
Hub?
I watched some KS TV.
KS couching.
Yeah.
Casting couching.
And the thing is, there's no way to control the heat or air in KS office. You're at the mercy of whatever the bar is setting it to. And so sometimes you get in there in the wintertime and it's too hot. But sometimes you get in there in the wintertime and you're freezing. I've done some of our shows up there, and I've had the space heater on. That's an option as well. There's a Holiday Inn across the street, but I try not to spend money on hotels in Lexington. I feel stupid. I'm an hour away. Why am I buying a hotel? This might be one of the rare. Oh, he highly recommends Stoner by John Williams. I just read that. A texter sent into the show. Haven't read. If you haven't read it,
Composer?
it's called Stoner by John Williams. It was written in like the 60s, I think. I just read that and just finished another John Williams book called Butcher's Crossing. We can make this a book show if you want to.
But that's not the same John Williams that is a composer, is it? I doubt it.
I don't think so.
What was Stoner about?
It was about this guy who he goes off to college. His dad is a farmer, uneducated. His mom's uneducated. He goes to school about a new Missouri agriculture degree that he can get, and he gets there and he like falls in love with like literature and English, and so he stays there and becomes a professor. He's like highly educated, and it's kind of like reflecting on the place that he left. He ends up like having an affair. I don't want to give it away. It's a good book.
And he is a big stoner?
His last name is Stoner.
Oh. Wow. I bet a lot of people probably get like 50 pages in.
Yes, I know. They're like, wait a minute.
Hold on. When does this dude pick up a bowl? Butcher's Crossing is next up for me, says one texter.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, they made a movie about it.
A sophisticated text line.
I love it.
They are not the same person, if you guys were just curious.
Okay.
The John Williams
Who would have thought
composer,
John Williams, such a unique name? I would have thought for sure it had to be the same guy.
Well, they were born around the same time, so I was just curious.
502-414-1450 is that Game Day Men's Health text line. Texter says, you need to change one of your basketball opening credits to your show. Oh, that's for the Hoosier Report. Not for us.
Talking about the who?
Oh, yeah. Well, the point of that texter is right, though. If I was an Indiana show, my whole intro would just probably be the national championship game audio. My intro would be 3 hours long, and then the show would end.
Watford for the win?
Goodness gracious. Truthfully, I had that thought on Monday night. I was like, if this loser fan base talked about a regular season shot for 15 years, like they will build a literal Colossus of Mendoza statue in Bloomington of that touchdown run that he had. They're going to play that thing for the next 500 years. But you know what? Rightfully so, Indiana, because that was a national championship game. I get a little fired up. Not a regular season basketball game, and that same team eliminated your butt. All right? I get a little worked up about the Watt shot.
Man.
But I don't get mad about it.
No, I didn't think you were angry at all just then.
I don't get upset about it. But that was a great, anyways, Indiana, national champions for football.
It still sounds weird when you say it out loud.
Hour 2, Kentucky Roll Call. We'll talk more Cats versus Rebels. Travis Perry returns to Rump Arena. Woo!
for you personally?
I think we ain't doing it.
With Walker and Peak.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Kentucky Roll Call on Big X Sports Radio. Get your text into the Game Day Men's Health text line, 502-414-1450. Fun first hour. We'll read more text as the show goes on. We've got NFL Conference Championship games this weekend, getting the Super Duper Bowl all set, including the Patriots playing. Producer Matt's New England Patriots. You excited, Producer Matt?
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait. I mean, it's going to be a cold one. It's going to be two teams that are used to the cold. No Bo Nix. They got old Stiddy back there, Jared Stiddy.
Old Stiddy.
If we can't make that man uncomfortable, then we don't deserve to be in the Super Bowl. So I feel pretty confident.
What do you say to the people? What do you say to the many people that are saying the Patriots have had the easiest road to the Super Bowl in NFL history?
I mean, they don't schedule their own games, I guess.
Well, they kind of do.
I mean, they technically do, but you don't know how they're going to turn out is what I mean. So, I mean, if that's what people want to say, that's what they want to say.
It's a good strategy to try to finish, what did they finish? Third? So playing all the third-place teams?
I don't agree with that, by the way.
They've also beat...
I'd say it's a team that probably had a bye in the first round. At least the Patriots will have to have beaten 3 teams.
They will have beaten 2 of the 5 best defenses in the NFL, and this will be a third top 5 defense in a row.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, don't make me have to fight for the other side here, buddy, okay?
I'm just giving you facts.
You can only play the teams in front of you. That's the only thing the Patriots can do.
That's true.
And they've done it, and they've won by double digits both times they've done it, and now they get to play against a backup quarterback. It is on the road, though. It is on the road. Patriots given 4.5 points in that one. Seahawks, Rams, that will be the later game on Sunday. Neither one of these will be impacted by all this nasty weather coming in. That's a bit unfortunate. Had the Patriots been at home, that game definitely would have been impacted by the weather to the point maybe they would have to maybe move it or do something with it. Won't have to worry about it, though. It is in Denver, and they are in Seattle, 2 of the tougher places to play in the NFL. I wanted to save the NFL conversation for a little bit later and just kind of highlight it or tease on it, but here we are. We're already in it, so we may as well get into it. But what's your prediction for the first game?
You talking about the Patriots-Broncos game?
Yep.
I'm going to say Patriots win that game. I think they win by 6. I think they just barely cover.
Okay, so Patriots win and cover. I'm leaning that way as well, except I think they win by 10, where it's not like a blowout double-digit win, but it's never really close. It's just, all right, if the Broncos can score, maybe it could be a game, and they just never get that score. But on the flip side, maybe the Patriots need one more touchdown just to totally blow it open, and they're unable to do that. So I think the Patriots cover, and they win. I'm looking at probably a 27-17 game, 24-14, somewhere in that ballpark.
Matt, it's just like you've never had to really suffer as a fan, as an NFL fan.
Did you watch these last 2 years?
Oh, I'm sorry. You had 2 years. Oh, it must have been so painful for you. For 2 years, your team wasn't very good, and they had 1 year where they sucked. That was it. 1 year. 1 really bad year. Do you know how many years I've watched the Dolphins just suck? And got 0 payoff for that, by the way.
Who did the Dolphins end up signing as their coach?
Oh, yeah, we talked about this. We went after the Boston College coach who did well last year.
Mm-hmm.
The craziest signing so far for me is Mike McDaniel going to the Chargers, because I mean, Justin Herbert had the worst offensive line in the NFL, and then you pair him with a guy that almost killed Tua himself.
Well, what's funny is Mike McDaniel is interviewing for the Bills head coaching job after taking the Chargers job. After almost taking the Browns job.
I would give anything for him to go to the Bills.
Did you see where their fans were petitioning to bring back McDermott?
And by the way, Phillip Rivers is interviewing for the Bills job.
Who?
Phillip Rivers is interviewing for the Bills head coaching job.
What head coaching experience has he had?
Well, at high school, I think he was.
Oh, he's at high school? Okay.
Well, I don't know if he was even the head coach, but he may have been the quarterback's coach.
What qualifies
That's what he was doing, and then he became the starting quarterback in the NFL. He came back. He left that to be the starting quarterback.
I do wonder, like, what the Dolphins ownership was thinking with this. Like, that it was like, I asked some of my Dolphins friends, you know, what am I missing here? Please say you've read an article that said this is actually a Galaxy brain hire.
Philip Rivers was the head coach at St. Michael Catholic High School.
He was the head
Okay.
coach. Okay, gotcha. So there you go. There's some head coaching experience.
Yeah, that is.
Got to start somewhere.
You
Might as
absolutely
well just go
right.
ahead and be the head coach of an NFL franchise.
Why not make him like a player coach? Hey, you can be the backup quarterback too, but he's got to wear his uniform when he's doing the head coaching gig.
He would be the
It's like a
very
manager in
opposite of Jackie Moon.
It'd be great. I'd be all for it. But that's interesting. Yeah, I feel bad that Jeff Hafley's your head coach.
I know you do.
Probably means it's going to work out though, so that's the good news.
Real question: if Philip Rivers did become a head coach, is he doing it just to get his whole plethora of children on staff?
Possibly, or health insurance.
True.
That could also be exactly what he's looking.
Guess
to do.
Jeff Hafley's best record as a head coach. He was at Boston College from 2020 to 2023.
6-6.
I'm gonna say
Pretty much nailed it. Yeah, 7-6. They got a bowl win.
Okay, they won the bowl game.
Fenway Bowl.
There you go. Ooh, that's home game. For
He was 12-22 in the ACC.
He knows how to win big games.
There you go. You're right about
22
that.
and 26 overall, though, guys.
What's his bowl
Dolphins
record?
are back.
Did you make a AFC prediction, Stephen Peak?
No, but obviously the Patriots are just going to win the Super Bowl again. So
Oh, don't say
they're
that.
Well, I mean,
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing right now. Don't do it.
no, I mean, I honestly believe that they'll probably play the Rams. They'll play the 5 seed for the Super Bowl, and they'll win that game by 4 points.
It would be
Chance.
a storybook ending if
Of course
they,
it
they,
would.
No, I mean
Oh.
no, I mean seriously, if they play the Rams, the Patriots dynasty started beating the Rams in the Super Bowl, and then beating the Rams in the Super Bowl, and then Drake May's era begins beating the Rams in the Super Bowl. That would be horrible if you're a Rams fan.
Wow, I've never really thought about it like that. That's a good point. First time hearing about it. All right, we know the prediction for Peak. He's taking the Rams in the NFC.
Taking the Seahawks.
I like the Rams to cover. If you're giving me 2.5 points, I'm definitely taking the 2.5 points. I still think the Seahawks. I'll go Rams outright.
All right, there you go.
But this game's coming down to a field goal one way or another. I'll tell you that much. I do like the over, but not strong. But I like the Rams to cover. I like the over. Coin flip for who wins. But if I'm taking the Rams to cover, I may as well do money line.
I would much rather play the Rams. I think the Patriots match up with them a little bit better, and I'm just terrified of Seahawks defense. But I would love to see Christian Gonzalez and Jackson Smith and Jigba go at it in one game.
What about some of the players? What about Puka?
I mean,
Was there a history with those two?
no, I mean it's the number one receiver in the NFL versus the number one cornerback in the NFL per snap.
I mean, Puka's pretty good too, though.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, he's good.
I think you can make a case Puka's better.
I wouldn't.
I would. And then Devontae Adams too.
If you're gonna make a case that Devontae Adams is better than Jackson Smith and Jigba, I
No,
would
but
disagree.
no, I'm making a case that the Rams receiving core is better.
It is. The Rams receiving core is better, but I mean that's why I think
But there's
we
not
would.
two of. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'd rather match up with them against the Seahawks defense.
Okay, no, that's fair. No, it's your. Yeah, I totally get it. Super Bowl is in. Where is it? It's in San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Okay. Do you worry about the Patriots having to travel across the country?
Their fans are everywhere, is what he'll say.
Not really. I mean, like
Versus
in terms
the
of
West Coast team.
in terms of if it's the Rams they're playing, yes. Against Seattle, I'd say it's a little bit different. I don't know. The NFL is different, like weird. Like they travel so much that it's not really like I would say in college where like if U of L or UK were traveling West Coast, I would just pick them to lose. The fan aspect, yes, does put a damper on the fact.
I'm a little curious about you thinking the Rams would have some geographical benefit playing in San Francisco, but Seattle wouldn't.
I'm just saying not as much. Not saying they wouldn't at all. It's not as much.
I'd say both would be. I mean, there's just more Seattle fans than Rams fans, in my opinion. But from a distance standpoint, that's drivable for both fan bases.
True. I just think that Rams fans are, I mean, all of them are going to go out there.
State pride
Maybe.
could be. Well, also be careful next to the electrical facility or whatever that
Right.
thing was.
Yeah.
Did you see they're actually investigating that?
I did see that. Yes, which you have to, right? You at least have to say that you're investigating. You can't just be like, nope, we're not, and then next season more ACLs and Achilles get shredded.
Do we need to look into, is there something like that near the Joe Kraft Center or near the Wildcat Collage, or like because of Kentucky's injury luck?
Yeah, actually, I think it's wherever the parking meter headquarters is, wherever those people work.
Yeah.
I think that's where it is. You start with the investigation there. Maybe you just want to tear down the building just to be safe and make sure that there's not an electrical facility underneath there. Parking around Lexington was always just the absolute worst. It was just the worst. And I feel like they'd like hide and wait for you to like leave, and then they'd come and give you a ticket instantly. I feel like I got away during my 4 years in Lexington better than most. I never got booted. Did you ever get booted?
I have not.
You've never been?
Not yet.
Producer Matt, you ever got the boot?
From where?
Just on your car.
Do you know, you know what a car boot
Yeah.
is?
No, I've not.
Okay, that's good. Now they do. Well, now they do. I've heard that they do the shield. Have you seen that? Instead of like a boot, they put like a shield on your windshield, so even if you could drive, you can't see anything. It's like a big magnetic shield, so you have to call them to come get it. Because I think people were like driving with the boot, and it was ruining their car and ruining the boots, and it was just a big old mess. With this shield thing, you just can't see.
So, like, what if there's an emergency?
Well, you should have paid your parking tickets to the government. You
I
should have
guess
been
so.
illegally parked.
Well, do you see where they passed the thing where they can now stop your car?
The kill switch thing?
Yes.
I did see
What
that.
did you think about that?
Republicans should be ashamed. They're listen to Thomas Massey. It's a joke. And that
Okay, so tell me what the benefits of it are. I didn't really follow it. I saw people were outraged, but I don't really know about
honestly, I don't know all the details about it, but Republicans did vote for a bill that allowed for automobile kill switch to be mandated.
And that means they can turn your car off?
Yes.
What happens?
The idea is like from a safety standpoint that like, oh, this person's, they're driving recklessly, we can shut their car off.
That's weird.
That way we're not going to get in like high speed collisions. And it's totally
I mean, I
not good.
understand in the very few circumstances where it might work, like if your car was stolen, for example, or whatever, that you said somebody's driving dangerously or running from the police. Yeah, those times might. But how? I don't know. It's weird. I want to read in more about it. The texter texted into the Game Day Men's Health text line saying the Patriots don't make the schedule. The NFL makes the schedule. What I meant is that by finishing third last season, right? They finished third or fourth in the AFC East.
Somewhere down there.
Yeah,
It's
so
somewhere at the bottom.
Then they are paired against the other teams that finished the same throughout the league, correct?
Yes.
So there you go. That's what I wish the Dolphins would do. Just finish in fourth so that the next season you're facing all the fourth best teams. The NFL, very egalitarian in how they really do try to have like equal outcomes, and it just doesn't work. I mean, look,
They
look at
don't
the last
want any fan base to be down too long.
Well, I mean, what can we do then to get the Dolphins to win a playoff game? Hasn't happened in 26 years. And I'm looking at the last, decade, 12 years of the Super Bowls. All four teams remaining have won the Super Bowl since 2014. So there's no like fan base.
It means you're due. Exciting times ahead for the Miami Dolphins.
I'm sure that's what it means. It can't be bad ownership or anything.
That's what I'd get excited about if I were you.
It has to happen eventually, TJ. Everybody's getting a shot at this. The NFL, I feel like that has the most parity as far as champions, unless you have, a Tom Brady who just consistently wins their division every year except for the year that he's hurt. Yeah.
Which game are you more excited about? We obviously know Matt's answer.
I mean, I'm more excited about that game.
Matt, were you going to say
about the Patriots game?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I mean, I'm an AFC guy.
Broncos have
People
only
don't really
lost.
do that, do they? With the American League, National League thing, we don't really do that with AFC and NFC.
They never really do. Although
I'm an
I
AFC
do
guy,
have
though.
I do have an NFC hat, weirdly enough.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be wearing.
Are you like the what was it, the Chargers lady, the psyop, who was like the government plant fan?
Yeah, I'm exactly like her, but not because of that at all. The Patriots 8-0 away from home. That's incredible this season. The Broncos 8-1 at home. So I'm more excited for Rams Seahawks just because you don't have Stiddy playing quarterback in one of those games. But Both should be good. It's for a spot in the Super Bowl. It's the Elite Eight game of the NFL. It's like everything there is on the line to make it to the last weekend of the year, to have 2 weeks to dream about your team playing in a Super Bowl. It all comes down to this weekend, so it's exciting, and maybe we'll talk a little bit more about it as the show goes on. How you feeling about the Cats versus the Rebs? I told you that I'm nervous about it. Malik Dia, he's a great player. A.J. Storr, he was one of the most expensive players in the transfer portal just a couple of years ago. Travis Perry, he's a player.
He is a player. He's on the roster, but he actually had a pretty good game recently, I think. Didn't he hit like 5 threes the other night? I was nervous about the game on Wednesday. This game, I'm not as worried about. I do think Kentucky comes out and takes care of business and gets the win. I would almost, maybe I'm just hopeful in this outcome, but I think that Kentucky can win this game by double digits. Maybe this is the game, the first high-level game that they really do pull away. Well, no, Mississippi State. Forgot. They did pull away in that one.
Yeah, they opened that one up.
So that could happen again. Just beat up on the Mississippi teams, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's no business Kentucky should lose this. There's not a scenario Kentucky should lose this game. Again, Ole Miss is solid, and they're well coached, and Malik Dia, he's going to be an issue. Who do you think Kentucky's going to put on him? Probably Mo Diabate is the guy that you instantly say, aha, he should be good to go against him, but Mo Diabate has not been playing as much. So it's probably, you're obviously going to have to put somebody else on him. Is this a game for Andre Yelovich?
I was going to say that he kind of shut down Caleb Wilson.
Played well against Caleb Wilson. So this could be another good game, but this is a grown man.
I said shut down. He did not shut him down. Caleb still got his points, but I thought
played well against him and for the expectations. But you're going against a grown man. This is a 6'9", 6'10", 250-pound dude. Played college basketball for a very long time. That's a tough assignment. And even for Malachi Marino, you got to be physical on your rebounds. Even if you're not matched up in a singular spot against Malik, you need to look for him and put a body on him on the glass. So this is a tough assignment for Kentucky in that regard, but you should have the advantage everywhere else. A.J. Storr is a good scoring guard who's been playing better as of late. He's been the leading scorer for Ole Miss in 3 of their last 4 games, including 2 of those scoring 26 points or more in those performances. So he's starting to play better. He's starting to heat up. He's a guard that can go get his. He's pretty good at getting to the line as well. But hopefully Denzel Aberdeen's length can bother him a little bit. But it's pretty much a 2-man game for Ole Miss, and then they usually will have one other role player step up from time to time, and that potentially could be somebody like a Travis Perry. But this is a team that's got some good wins. It'd be a terrible loss for UK. All the good momentum you've built up during this winning streak, you could lose it with a loss to Ole Miss, so you can't have that happen. It's going to be a weird atmosphere. Doesn't mean it has to be a bad atmosphere, but it's probably going to be a weird one. And hopefully Kentucky does not take several steps backwards.
Would be
tomorrow.
nice. Malik Dia had a big game against Kentucky last year. 16 points, 2 of 4 from 3, 6 of 13 from the field. He was tough. He was tough last year. That was a really bad game Kentucky played. I know there were some injuries that had just happened. 98-84 down in Oxford in a really weird atmosphere. TJ, that was a crowd that just wasn't into the game at all, even as their Rebels were pulling away from Kentucky. If you remember, it was 54-31. That was the game that was the game that Mark Pope came to the press conference with the bloodied hand from throwing some stuff, punching some stuff maybe in the locker room at halftime. Kentucky did put up a fight in the second half and actually had a chance to cut it down to, I think they may have cut it to under 10, but in the end it was Ole Miss running away from the Cats with the win. So again, I'm not overly concerned about tomorrow, but this is you can't lose it. You have all this momentum, and you have all the games from here on out get really, really tough.
And this is probably one of those games, too. I was a little surprised on Wednesday. Our first 2 or 3 callers, they were just somewhat negative, just not happy that Kentucky only beat Texas by 5, not being able to pull out a bigger win in that game. up 11 with 5 minutes to go or whatnot, and then they just kind of just took their foot off the gas, which we saw them do against Missouri, and it cost them the game. You just have to find a way to win. I don't care if people want to be negative after a 1-point win tomorrow. You just have to win. And you know what? Maybe tomorrow, if you win by 1 or 2, you'll have a right to be negative. Maybe you should beat Ole Miss by more. But the thing about this team and this season, you just can't take a step backwards. And a win is not doing that. You're not going backwards with a win. Even if you have a win and you have an injury, Peak, well, then you'll figure it out the next game. But just keep winning. And then, speaking of the next game, next week looks brutal. It's going to be a tough week. And you don't want to go 0-2. I really think after tomorrow, Peak, the goal the rest of the season is don't have an 0-2 week. If you don't have an 0-2 week, you're not sweating it out for the NCAA tournament. You're not worried about the bubble. You're probably getting potentially a competitive seed. Again, we were talking about 1 and 2 seeds this season, but it wouldn't be impossible if you don't have an 0-2 week the rest of the way. You could be in that 5 seed conversation. That's not impossible. Then you know what? Don't have an 0-2 week and have many 2-0 weeks, and you can really move up the ladder if that's the case. But I do think after tomorrow, the goal is just don't have an 0-2 week, and you'll be in pretty good shape. But to get to that point, you have to win tomorrow.
Yes.
You have to win tomorrow. If you don't win tomorrow, then you have to go make that game up somewhere, probably on the road, likely in a quad 1 setting, which you have plenty of opportunities. What we said yesterday, 7 of the 11 remaining games are quad 1 games.
8.
8. Okay, even better. So you will have plenty of chances. You don't have to rely on wins, though. You don't have to say you have to get this one or you have to get that one. I mean, you want to. You want to be able to do it. But you lose to Ole Miss tomorrow, it's going to put you behind the 8 ball. Don't have that happen.
Now, that does sound daunting when you say out loud that after Ole Miss, you've got, let's see, 10 games, not 9 games? 11 games, and 9 of them are going to be quad 1. Did I get that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I said 8, but it's 9. My fault. So 9
Even better.
quad 1 games. But TJ, when you look at the bracketology, they got in the bracket matrix, they have Florida as the highest SEC seed, and they're a 4 seed. So it's not like you are taking on just the toughest of the toughest quad 1s. You're not playing any like top 10 teams really in that stretch. So I mean, you got Florida twice. Obviously, that's going to be tough. You have to play Tennessee again at home. That's going to be tough. Arkansas on the road. I've already just surrendered that game. They're not going to win it. But it's not like in these quad 1 games that you're playing any of the top 4 or 5 teams in the country. They're all reasonably winnable games. I mean, are you really are we afraid of playing Georgia at home?
You should not be.
Right. Even Vanderbilt on the road. They're good, but
there'll be a rowdy atmosphere, but you should have 30% of the crowd there.
And Vanderbilt at home,
so, yeah.
Vanderbilt at home, they can win that game. Auburn on the road, I know Auburn's tough place to play.
That's one of those games where if it was at Rupp, it's like you have to win that game against Auburn.
Yeah.
Stephen Pearl's losing to everybody. He can't come into Rupp and beat you. At Auburn, though, I don't know. They're good. They're just a different team at home. Beat them. Beat them. Still find a way. You shouldn't be over it. The scariest thing about that game is where it's at, not the team that you're playing against.
Right. I mean, at Texas A&M. I mean, these quad 1s, those teams are good.
Worried about that one.
And I understand you can make an argument they could lose all those games.
Sure, they can.
They won't, but you can make an argument that they could. I look at it, I'm going to look at it as glass half full and say, hey, all of those games are winnable outside of maybe Arkansas on the road and maybe Florida on February 14th in Gainesville.
I heard a stat this morning that this 4-game winning streak is the longest in the Mark Pope era right now.
That's true. Well, I don't know if it's the longest
or is it
total,
tied?
But it's the longest SEC winning streak. It's the longest winning streak against. It's the longest winning streak against high-level teams.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
But I don't know, just because of how they scheduled, I can pull up because they didn't. Obviously, it's the longest winning streak this season. I'll look up the 2025 schedule to make sure. I saw the graphic too, and I was like, there was a caveat that we gave when we were reporting this.
Because I probably saw the same thing you saw, and I read it. I was like, that just doesn't seem right. There's no way that in either season, and especially at the beginning of the year, Kentucky didn't win 4 games in a row.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now because I agree with
Well,
you.
they play in the Champions Classic though.
Yeah, they started the season 7-0 last year.
Okay, so that's 7-game win streak. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Conference play, I definitely believe it. Though.
But from that point on, no more 4-game winning streaks. They got 3 in a row: Gonzaga, Colgate, and Louisville.
So if you haven't heard, Kentucky and Ole Miss at 11 tomorrow. It has been moved up an hour. I think you'll be fine getting to and from, but check with your favorite local weather person to confirm that if you're making the trip to Lexington. And by the way, breaking news, Kentucky women's basketball versus Georgia. That game is going to be at 1 o'clock on Saturday at historic Memorial Coliseum. So that game originally scheduled for Sunday. That will now be played on Saturday. Going to be a good old-fashioned doubleheader in Lexington. The men at 11, the women at 1, different facilities, different buildings. And then I think for the women, they're maybe just letting people in for free. Fans who have a ticket to Kentucky men's basketball versus Ole Miss can show that ticket and get in for free.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
if you want to watch 4 hours of Kentucky basketball, take on that snowstorm, Lexington's got a pretty solid deal for you. UK's got a nice little offering for you. So there you go. UK men, 11 o'clock. Originally scheduled for noon. Our post-game show will be online only, so watch for my tweets or subscribe to the ESPN Plus Louisville account. And then the women's basketball team, they will be tipping off at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
They're struggling.
And then I know, they're
It's a tough schedule. We knew that, but 3 of 5, they've lost 3 of 5 now.
Yeah, was it Mississippi State they lost to?
Yeah, that was a bad loss.
They needed that one. Tennessee on the road.
What were they doing in the last 2 possessions? Did you check it out, TJ?
I did see it. Wasn't
Gosh.
great. Yeah, no shame in that loss, although you had a great chance to win it after coming back. So that was a little disappointing. The Mississippi State game, this team's just going to be a 4 seed in the NCAA tournament, and they'll probably play a 1 seed, and you just hope that the ball bounces their way that day. Let's take our final commercial break. We'll come back. We'll read your text into the Game Day Men's Health text line. And what else do we have? Todd Golden's talking smack. We like seeing that. U of L and Mikel Brown will give an update there. And let's see, some college football news as well. So we'll get to all this to wrap up your week. This is Kentucky Roll Call, Snowstorm 2026. just like Louisville will as well. So I don't know who I would take in terms of coaching. I'd need to think about that. I lean towards you just would give Pope the nod because Kentucky was better last year, and this year Louisville's been a little bit better, but maybe just by a seed line, so it's relatively close in that regard. Kentucky was, at least from a season resume standpoint, substantially better last year. But I don't know. If somebody wanted and was drastically said Pat Kelsey would be the better option, I would at least hear them out. Who would make the team? The starting, well, is everybody healthy, or is it like the current state of what the
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too.
It says if you combine the current available rosters.
current available rosters, yeah.
Okay, so you'd have to have
I like Conwell.
You'd have to have Brown and JQ out, but both those guys, assuming they were healthy, I think would be
Is Conwell out? Is he playing?
Well, no, I was saying that Mikel Brown.
Well, no, yeah. But I mean, like,
Conwell's playing.
All right, so I'll take him.
So let's just go U of L, the no-brainers. Conwell, McNeely,
Give him good shooters.
Frew.
Would you take Khalifa?
No, I wouldn't. Hadley would be on the fence, but I think those. I think those
Okay, that's
three.
4 guys.
I think those three.
You throw in Ortega, Denzel, Malachi.
Ortega, Denzel, Malachi. That gives us 6. I'm at
7.
6. No,
7.
I'm at 6. You gave U of L an extra one that I wasn't willing to.
Oh, okay.
Conwell, McNeely, and Frew.
You don't want a 50% ACC 3-point shooter?
No.
Okay, so hang on. What positions do we have right now? We have Denzel at the 1, Conwell at the 2, Ortega at the 3,
Yes.
and then Malachi at the 5.
This is funny because, not to cut you off, but because of the situation with the rosters and the availability, Kentucky or Louisville, in this sense, still doesn't have a point guard.
I know. It's pretty wild. Yeah, we're still running Denzel at the point.
Because I was sitting here like, wait, you're actually going to take Denzel at the 1? I was like, oh, wait, well, Ryan Conwell's your backup. That's not a point guard either.
Yeah, I want him shooting.
And UK's probably, and this combined team is also kind of weak at the 4.
Yeah, I don't know who to put at the 4. I mean,
Really, you
Yelich?
probably want to find a way to get like McNeely on the floor and you do 4 guards. You just do a true 4-guard lineup with Malachi at the 5 or something like that. I don't know. It would be.
That's a Sweet 16 team. It sounds like, TJ.
Well, I think if healthy, so if you had like Mikel Brown, and you had Cam Williams and JQ, I would say that would be your national championship team.
Yeah.
No big
had all
deal.
those guys.
No big deal, everybody. Kentucky and Louisville basketball have fallen so far that if you combined us, it would be a different story. Oh, goodness gracious. But injuries, they play a huge role in this equation here. So there's your answer to your question, me not fully finishing and answering the question. But we did take about 2 minutes on it, so it would be
that's equivalent to answering.
yeah, we gave it our all. And then we kind of got bored with it. Over under 1.5 Travis Perry threes tomorrow. I'd say he over, but I don't think he has 15 points or anything like that.
Yeah, he'll hit a couple. Let me ask you this: Will he get a cheer? Will he get a little pop from the fans, or are people going to be upset that he left?
I think it's just weird and silly and stupid, but I think he'll get a pop from the fans.
Yeah, I do too.
Calipari, there are thousands that want to boo that dude, but Travis Perry, he'll get a cheer from the fans.
Rick Pitino got a cheer from the Kentucky fans in Atlanta. I did.
Yeah, I
Also
understand.
donated to the university.
Yeah, he's
Calipari
a
has won and went to 4 Final Fours. Travis Perry was gone to 0.
Yeah, there's probably some other layers to that, but I
know.
think he won't get booed
What are the odds that
like
they just
DJ
don't care?
Wagner got booed.
But the thing is, like, Travis Perry was shown nothing but love when he was at Kentucky. I mean, he was fine. He hit some big shots.
He was at Mark Pope's press conference.
Yeah, he was the only one there. I talked to the team. There's only one guy on the team.
There is no team. Yeah. I will say that he hits 2 threes tomorrow, but I don't think he'll have a big game. And if he does have a big game, shame on Mark Pope and shame on this team. Seriously,
Yeah.
I mean that.
No,
And
for real.
that's going to be the theme of the postgame show is if Travis Perry has a big game and he's a reason why UK loses to Ole Miss at home, then shame on Mark Pope. If UK loses tomorrow at home, shame. Even if Travis Perry doesn't do Jack Diddley, shame on Mark Pope. You have to win that game tomorrow, and I don't care if Travis Perry plays well. I don't care if he doesn't get off the bench. But no, he will get off the bench. Chris Beard's going to play him. Chris Beard's going to give him a chance to have a big game.
Where does Chris Beard rank as far as like top coaches in the SEC. Where is he at for you?
He's been on my mind for Kentucky openings in years past, or potentially openings in years
Is he a top
past.
5 in the SEC?
Ooh, I don't know.
Is he just in the wrong spot, I guess is what I'm asking. I mean, I think last year.
He's definitely top 5 in the SEC. Yes, no brainer. Todd Golden, I think you have to put number 1.
Cal?
Nate Oates, you have to put number 2. I'm doing current. I'm doing like if I'm starting a team tomorrow, I'm taking Todd Golden number 1.
Okay.
Taking Nate Oates number 2. Cal probably number 3. If we're talking about taking over a team starting tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Where does Rick Barnes land? Is he outside the top 5 now?
Yeah,
I mean, Mark Pope's beaten him 3 or 4 times already.
I think probably so. 4, I'm probably going Chris Beard. And then as crazy as it is, you probably have to go Jerry Stackhouse at Vandy. No, I'm kidding. He got fired. But probably Mark Byington.
That's what I was going to say.
He probably got to be number 5 right
So
now.
where does Mark Pope land in all this? 8th?
Maybe 7th?
Where does Sean Miller?
I'd probably have him I'd have Mark Pope probably ahead of Sean Miller.
Okay.
I'd probably, I'm saying probably because I'm not definitive, truthfully. I'd
That's
probably
pretty-
have Mark Pope ahead of Sean Miller.
Okay, so that you're
If I'm
saying
starting
like
a team
7th,
tomorrow.
6th or 7th?
Yeah, I think 7th. I'd probably have Rick Barnes ahead of Mark Pope.
Pretty wild. Pretty wild. That,
Although, granted, Mark Pope has had his way with Rick Barnes, except for the one that mattered the most. So it's not definitive even in that one.
well, he beat him twice in Knoxville.
He's beaten him 3 out of 4 times, but
Yeah.
I would take the 1 versus the 3. And you would.
Yeah,
We all
me too.
would.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course. It's the NCAA tournament.
But Mark Byington, he's been incredible. I mean, he was good at James Madison. And obviously.
James Madison just producing great coaches.
Obviously at Vandy, he's turned some heads, got them to the tournament last year, and then has them at 16-3 this year. A texter on the Game Day Men's Health text line says, Trent Noah is an undersized 4 who wouldn't look out of place at Bellarmine, and now we're relying on him. His minutes shouldn't look much different than they have up to this point. Not drastically, texter, but they should look different. Not drastically, but they should look different. And shout out to the Bellarmine Knights. Big win yesterday. Big A-Sun win, beating the Dolphins of Jacksonville on the road. Nice win for Bellarmine. They're not good. They're not good. I like Bellarmine. I like watching them. I like following them. They're not a great basketball
They
team.
just don't have any NIL money. Like, how are you going to compete in Division I basketball when you don't pay your players?
Well, A-Sun teams don't have nil money.
I know, but I'm saying you went from a team before NIL started. You should have been in the tournament because you won your conference. You couldn't get in because of NCAA regulations, and then NIL transfer portal stuff opens up, and they're just gutted.
Well, again, though, they're competing against teams in their flock. I get what you're saying, but they're going to win the A-Sun. They can still be competitive even with the current allotment of nil money at Bellarmine, which is probably like a free chicken sandwich at Shenanigans here and there. That's probably the extent of their nil.
I love me some shenanigans.
I mean, yes, Shenanigans is great. But, hey, what's that place with all the goofy poop on the wall? You guys talking about Shenanigans? I love Bellarmine. They'll have good days. They're going through a coaching change right now. But it would be fun if somebody super rich just one year was like, hey, Bellarmine, I'll give you $2 million for your basketball nil. You wouldn't make a Final Four, but you probably would. I mean, well, no, probably. You would dominate the A-Sun. It'd be fun.
That leads to actually a good question. What would be the cheapest a team like that, whether you pick Bellarmine or maybe you pick like Moorhead or Murray State? What's the cheapest payroll you could give their team to where they were like a Sweet 16 type team?
Yeah, gosh, that'd be a fun game if you were rich. Like, instead of buying horses, why doesn't some rich person just be like, you know what, I'm going to invest in Bellarmine basketball for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Bellarmine, I'm not going to do this forever, but I'm going to invest in you all just being good. And maybe you'll make the NCAA tournament, and it'll be like me making the NCAA tournament. Like,
Right, yeah,
like
you're
I'm
right.
the GM of this. I'm surprised that more people didn't. U of L yesterday, Peak, maybe you all talked about this on the Rutherford show, but you got a $2 million donation for new light fixtures,
Yep.
right? You all are going to have the light shows like Kroger
Get the
Field has.
LEDs finally.
You got the LEDs. My friend group was like, what is that? What does that mean? And I sent them the UK video, and it's like a cool video, but
Yeah.
people see it and they're like, oh, it's that expensive to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You bet your sweet bottom dollar it is.
The embarrassing part about when that dropped, because I read the article and everything, is that there's a part where they announced that some of the light fixtures they use are still from when they built the stadium in 1998.
Really?
Yes, and that they
That's
needed an
crazy.
upgrade for, and the only upgrades in the stadium in terms of the light fixtures were when they like added the LED boards for the jerseys, you know, like the players that are honored, and then the new expansions. So some of the light fixtures are genuinely from when it opened, and I read that and almost wanted to throw up.
That is wild. That's crazy to think. But U of L will be getting new lights. But I thought about, like, if you're that person and you donate that to U of L, would you rather not just donate $2 million to Bellarmine basketball and be like, I want this specifically spent on one of the best players we can get? What if you just did it on one? You just went to, like, one of the top recruits,
Here's $2 million.
and you're just like, here's $2 million. You're not going to be on a great team. But I think once you commit, other people will want to play with you.
40 shots a game.
Like, congratulations, Bellarmine, you have Caleb Wilson.
that would be so cool.
Do you think something like that will happen? There's
Yes,
so many small
absolutely.
schools with
Absolutely.
rich boosters.
Oh yeah,
alumni.
randomly you'll get this year where like Detroit Mercy is just really really good. So you'll get somebody in rich in Detroit. being
Calipari's
like,
son.
Why do I want to go watch the Pistons play? Let me be Detroit Mercy basketball on Brad Calipari court.
Yeah, Brad Calipari court.
I said this the other day. I feel like if we're looking at the NIL and the transfer portal in the future, something that would be really cool that I think would help, like keep the mid majors and like the group of 5 teams that compete. You know, like the really good group of 5 teams, like especially for college football, like the Memphises and the Tulanes, all those that like genuinely compete year in and year out. To keep them relevant is if at some point I think it also would keep players at their own school more. Is that if you wanted to get a player or poach a player from another school, you don't have to pay the player. You have to pay a transfer fee like European soccer does.
I think that's interesting.
Like I get that's like a contract buyout, but like you would have to pay. So say Kentucky wants to get a basketball player from James Madison, they have to pay the NIL to the player themselves, whether that's $1 million or whatever it is, and they got to pay a $600,000 transfer fee to the school, so they get something out of it. They can put that back into their own NIL and their own recruiting.
I don't think it's like the worst idea I've ever heard. I think it's fun, but it's dream weaving until obviously we have no idea what a player makes in NIL as is, right? So until they're employees and that stuff becomes public, there's no chance of that happening. But I like the idea down the road. Like I don't, once they get their ducks in a row, it's not the worst idea to say, hey, if you're gonna take from the smaller schools, give a little kickback. But probably never would happen. But I like the idea, producer Matt. I like that you're thinking, more importantly. A texter says, quite the coincidence that JQ's knee swells up immediately after his dad questioned how Pope is using the bigs. Yes, I've had knee swelling questions myself. I've been curious about the knee swelling.
Well, we did say, it's here's the thing. We all were wondering, will they shut it down? Will they shut it down? And then how could you? What are you going to say happened? You can't say that the ACL's messed up again, obviously. Knee swelling. I didn't think of knee swelling. I don't know. I would imagine there is something to that.
That it's not just totally made up.
I don't think that it's completely just out of thin air. We're just going to say knee swelling. I bet you there is some knee swelling. Maybe now. It's just the whole push for him to play, and then now there isn't. Do you get what I'm saying? Like from JQ, I said if you put JQ on Truth Serum, he said like I want to go play. Kid has a basketball in his hand every time we see him. He wants to be out there. We'll see. I mean, I have my personal beliefs on it, but I don't. We'll find out soon enough. I think if he doesn't play, if we've gone past the Arkansas game and he has not played, I just got to assume at that point that he's not playing.
According to Jack Pilgrim, he's not physically cleared to participate in basketball activities right
There you
now.
go.
So are they going to level him up from 1-on-1 to 2-on-2 to 5-on-5?
Got to do it again.
Oh,
Yeah.
Great. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. He'll be back by next season, right?
He says, Jack Pilgrim says it's safer to call him out indefinitely than day to day.
I would.
Seems to be-
coming
seems to
from
be.
Jack. I think that's that. If I could read between the lines there a little bit of what Jack is saying.
Jack says it's not a holdout or an opt-out situation. He's physically cleared. He's not physically cleared to participate.
Yeah.
Well, but to the Texer's point, it is just such a coincidence the knees started swelling.
I like this text. The great thing about Todd Golden and Nate Oates beef is that one of them has to lose. We haven't talked about the Todd Golden thing yet, have we?
No, we haven't.
I have the quote pulled up. Do you want me just to read it real fast?
That'd
just
be
the first
great.
part. Okay. This is what Todd Golden said about Alabama adding. Can you just say what was his name again? Charles Bediako?
Perfect.
Did I get that right?
Nailed
Okay.
it.
The G League player. Todd Golden said this guy had a great opportunity. He was at Alabama for 2 years. He played there. He was there during the NIL era. He was aware of what he was giving up by declaring to go to the draft. He stayed in past the date. That has always been, if you stay in and sign a contract, you're done. So I think this is a slippery slope. We're going to beat them anyway. If he plays, we'll beat them anyway. That makes that game must-watch TV.
It is. It is. I can't wait. Now, that will be after the TRO expires.
Yeah.
So he may not be eligible. But I love this.
Regardless if he plays or not.
Talk your trash.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's
It
just,
makes me like Todd Golden a little bit.
It's just
though.
a basketball game, too, when it's all said and done. And you want your coach to have that mindset, whether they say it out loud or not. You want a coach to say, like, all right, you know, I don't care who they have. We're going to beat them because we have a better basketball team, and I'm a better basketball coach. You want that attitude. So if you're actually ticked off about something, and Todd Golden is, then say it publicly. Get it all out there. And Nate Oates will have something to say back. He's not going to shy. He's not going to be shy about any of this stuff. And as long as Todd Golden's not on Snapchat, I like this stuff. I think this is cool. I think it's good for the sport. Just get off the app.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Listening to that, I think it was one of their coaches' shows, I guess. Listening to it, I was like, man, I kind of like Todd Golden a little bit. I like that these coaches have a little bit of swagger to them, look, and some confidence.
I do. I respect it. I like seeing it. And it is just sports. You can have fun with it.
Sure.
It wasn't disrespectful either. You're just saying, we're going to beat them. That's the point of the game.
Why do you hate me? Because I come to your town and beat your team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's good stuff.
That's the
My
good
old
stuff.
man take is I hate all the light stuff in the stadiums. Leave the lights on, normally during timeouts, home runs, whatever. We're not at the club. Yeah, it is an old man take.
That's an old man take.
Like if they, I don't know, if they did it after every play, like, you know, an incompletion, maybe it'd be a bit too much. But like in between quarters or like after a huge moment or before the fourth quarter or something, I'm cool with that. But
Is this texter one of the Top Golf naysayers when they were trying to build
Oh,
that?
right, NIMBYs. Yeah, the South Carolina,
NIMBYs?
not in my backyard.
Not in my
Oh,
backyard.
okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I
I was like, is that a phrase that I haven't heard before?
guess so. I don't know. So the South Carolina stuff that they kind of modeled it off of, man, I come in here every time after a South Carolina game that I got to go to. It's just unbelievable. It's so cool. I love it. The fans love it. Really gets the energy going.
Texter says, Ole Miss has been extremely disappointing. Not great for Beard's career resume. Everyone thought he was a home run hire. They went to the Sweet 16 last year.
I beat North Carolina, right?
It's a pretty big deal for Ole Miss basketball. I'd say that this year's maybe been a little disappointing, but they're still not in the top 12 in NIL in SEC basketball. I think Chris Beard's doing all right. And maybe he hasn't been covered
That's
in
the furthest
glory.
they've been, by the way.
Ever?
They have 2 Sweet 16s,
Wow.
2001 and 2025.
Yeah, so again, he's not hurting there. He's not, you know, you've seen Auburn and Alabama and Florida and a bunch of other schools be better than Ole Miss has been, but that's not all Chris Beard's doing, and I think he's a fine coach. And they've got enough good players to come in and beat Kentucky tomorrow, for what it's worth.
And that was their first NCAA tournament appearance since 2019. So it's not a bad program rich in basketball history.
Another texter on the Game Day Men's Health text line says, if I'm playing for Bellarmine, I'm holding out for Kalins. Ooh, yeah, that's not a bad call.
I don't know if I've been there.
To Kalins,
Where's that place at?
it's right across from St. Agnes on Newburgh Road. They invented the cheeseburger. If you can't stop, wave or honk.
Wait. They're
can't-
claiming that they invented the cheeseburger?
Oh yeah.
Is that like factually? Is that a Todd Golden? That's just factually
So
inaccurate?
it's actually not the place that's still in there, not to like spill their secrets.
Oh,
But the original Kalen's, which was in that exact same location, claimed to invented the cheeseburger.
Okay.
And then that Kalen's went away, I want to say maybe like 2008-ish or 2007-ish. And then it was like two other things. It was an Irish grill. It was like a wing spot and something else. And neither one of them made it. Although the wing spot, we'd go there. They had like 25-cent wings back in the day. Great time. That being said, it didn't make it. And then after that spot didn't work out, somebody came in and said, let's call it Kalen's again and make it kind of like an upscale burger joint with other nice food.
While there's no single definitive inventor, Lionel Sternberger, a 16-year-old cook, is widely credited with adding cheese to a hamburger in 1924
way.
at his father's Right Spot in Pasadena, California, calling it the cheese hamburger, though other restaurants like Kalen's in Louisville and Humpty Dumpty Dive-In in Denver also claim the invention or trademark the name cheeseburger.
I mean, you're putting cheese on in a sandwich. I don't think it's like
Louisville invented it.
I
Kalen's
think it's
invented
saying
it.
they coined the term cheeseburger because this guy called it the cheese hamburger.
Well, it was obviously going to be shortened at some point.
It's just like Louisville basketball coined the term high five.
High five.
People have been high fiving for years before that.
They invented the high five, Matthew.
They invented it. Nobody ever done that before.
No, yep.
Texas says, I'm like you, TJ. I went to Walmart in Nicholasville on Wednesday evening, and there was 25 freezer doors and didn't have one food item in it. No bread, no water, milk, or eggs. Oh, man, that's not good. Wednesday, I was all right. Be safe, guys. Love you all. It's not Frank, it's Alan. Oh, an OG roll caller. Be safe, Alan. The Patriots didn't make the schedule. The NFL makes the schedule.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Let's see. John here, by gosh, I hope that starting the game early helps you all in Kentucky. I have our beloved Cats winning by 10 big ones. Hey, KRC crew and texters that will be impacted from the winter storm. Be safe and warm. Walt, got to go talk to you later. Yeah,
Speed reader.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. Be safe, everybody. We don't know when we'll talk to you next. Well, I'll be on the post-game show, but maybe online, so look out for that. But besides then,
Go Cats.
Stay tuned. Be safe. Go Cats. They win by 6. They win by 6.
7.